The galactic field was quiet when humanity arrived. For centuries, alien civilizations had dominated this space. They were proud, advanced, and confident. Every corner of the field echoed with the hum of starships, the chatter of alien languages, and the glow of artificial suns. Each species had its strengths. The Vorans were clever engineers, the Kylari excelled in diplomacy, and the Thrins were unmatched in exploration. They all believed they understood the rules of the field. Then came humanity. The first human ships were small, almost fragile by galactic standards. The sleek, shiny vessels of other species glided through space like hunting falcons. But human ships moved with an uneven rhythm, their hulls showing simple designs and visible repairs. Observers could not hide their smirks. "The newcomers will last a week," whispered a Kylari delegate as they watched a human ship approach the neutral station. At SciFi-Prime, humans themselves did not boast. They were calm, practical, and curious. Captain Elias Marlowe stood on the bridge of the Horizon, the lead human vessel, and scanned the station with sharp eyes. Beside him, Lieutenant Sarah Patel adjusted the ship's controls with careful precision. Neither spoke much. They had trained for this moment for decades. They trusted each other completely. As the humans docked, a crowd of alien spectators had gathered. Many leaned forward in amusement, eager to watch the simple species make mistakes. Even some of the neutral station's guards whispered among themselves, predicting chaos. But humanity had a different plan. The first trial of the field was simple in theory, but challenging in practice. Each newcomer species was to solve a puzzle in the form of an energy latticer complex. Network of power nodes that needed to be balanced to activate a star beacon. Other species approached it methodically. The Vorans analyzed every connection. The Thrins calculated the energy flows. And the Kylari debated the best diplomatic strategy to convince the lattice to cooperate. Humans, however, did something no one expected. They observed first. Not for long. Elias and Sarah spoke quietly, exchanging ideas in rapid, simple words. The humans did not follow the preset methods. Instead, they touched the lattice in patterns that seemed random at first. Lights flickered, energy shifted, and the alien delegates gasped. One by one, nodes aligned. The beacon activated, sending a beam of golden light into space. It was beautiful, simple, and completely unexpected. The aliens could not believe it. That is impossible, muttered a Voran engineer. They have no advanced technology, no advanced calculations. How did they do it? Humans simply smiled. We tried a different way, said Sarah. Sometimes simple is enough. The crowd fell silent. Then, slowly murmurs began. They're creative, whispered one Kylari diplomat. They understand the system differently, another admitted. The humans did not boast. They continued their work calmly, helping other newcomers understand the lattice without revealing all their techniques. Other species used to secrecy and rivalry were shocked by this openness that night, as the humans rested in their modest quarters. They discussed the future. The aliens think we are weak, said Elias. But we are not weak. They just expect everyone to follow their rules. We don't have to, Sarah nodded. And they don't understand human thinking. That is our strength. We can see solutions they cannot imagine. Across the field, the news spread. Humanity's unexpected success reached the ears of the galaxy's most powerful leaders. Some were amused. Some were curious. A few were worried. A species that could solve a complex energy lattice with such ease could not be ignored for long. Over the next days, humans explored SciFi-Prime, observing other civilizations. They noticed patterns. Aliens relied heavily on advanced technology, calculations, and formal strategy. Humans relied on observation, intuition, and adaptability. Where aliens planned for every possibility, humans improvised. Where aliens competed fiercely, humans cooperated when it helped achieve their goal. Even in casual interactions, humans impressed the locals. During a market visit, Sarah helped a young alien child repair a small drone. Instead of fixing it the normal way, she used a simple tool to balance the power flow, teaching the child step by step. The child beamed with joy, and the crowd watching applauded quietly. Word spread. Humans were kind, clever, and practical. Meanwhile, Captain Marlowe attended a meeting with the Galactic Field Council. The council consisted of representatives from the strongest civilizations. They greeted the humans politely, but with clear skepticism. "Your species is young," said Ambassador Cathar of the Thrins. "You have shown skill in the first trial, but the field is far more challenging. Do not be overconfident," Lias responded calmly. "We know we are new, but we also know that every challenge has a solution. We will do our best." The council exchanged glances. They had seen newcomers before. Most failed. Some were clever, but none had the unpredictability that humans seemed to possess. And unpredictability was dangerous in the field. A week later, the humans faced their second challenge, navigating an asteroid maze to reach a hidden station. Other species deployed powerful engines and shields, calculated trajectories for days, and used their fastest ships. Humans did not. The horizon moved steadily, slowly, as if it were a small fishing vessel rather than a starship. They observed asteroid movements, noted patterns, and adjusted their course with subtle, almost organic changes. When an asteroid shifted unexpectedly, humans reacted instantly, using momentum and timing rather than raw speed. When they reached the station, they were first. The alien spectators stared. They reached it without advanced engines, said a Kylar engineer. How humans did not answer directly. They only prepared for the next challenge, quietly confident. Back at the station, Elias reflected on their approach. "The galaxy assumes complexity is always better," he said. "But complexity can trap you. Simplicity, when used wisely, can overcome even the greatest obstacles." Sarah added, "And humans are naturally adaptable. We see the unexpected and respond. Others may plan, but they cannot always react." By the end of the first month, humanity's reputation had shifted. From amusement and mockery, the galaxy had moved to respect and cautious curiosity. Alien species whispered in their councils, "These humans, they are not what we expected. We should watch them carefully." Yet humans themselves were not arrogant. They understood they were still learning. Every challenge in the galactic field was different, and every alien species had hidden abilities. Humanity's strength lay not in underestimating others, but in understanding themselves and using what they knew wisely. One evening, while watching the twin suns set over Solara Prime's horizon, Elias spoke to Sarah. "The galaxy is starting to notice us," he said. "We are not just visitors. We are participants, and we will show them what humanity can do." Cyrus smiled. "And we will do it without losing who we are. That is the key. They may have advanced tech, but we have creativity, courage, and collaboration. They will not expect it." As night fell, the golden light of distant stars reflected on the human ships. The field had been quiet for centuries, ruled by predictable powers. But now, a new presence had arrived, small and seemingly ordinary, yet full of unexpected possibilities. Humanity's journey was only beginning, and somewhere in the shadows of the council chambers, champions of the field whispered nervously. The galaxy's cheers for them had begun to fade. Something new had entered the arena. Something different. Something unstoppable. The arrival of humanity was not loud. It was subtle, quiet, almost unnoticed. But its effects would echo across the galactic field in ways no one could imagine. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and that was its first mistake. The galactic field had never seen anything like humanity. In just 1 month, the newcomers had gone from amusing curiosity to serious competitors. Alien species that had long prided themselves on superiority were now whispering anxiously in council chambers and observation lounges. Humans were not only surviving, they were thriving. The next challenge of the field was announced with fanfare. It was a race unlike any before, stretching across 3 star systems, requiring speed, strategic planning, teamwork, and quick decision-making. Teams from the strongest civilizations had been training for decades. relying on their advanced engines, powerful shields, and intricate algorithms. Humans prepared quietly. Captain Elias Marlowe gathered his crew on the bridge of the horizon. The room was small, but the humans moved with calm efficiency. "This challenge is not about raw power," Elias said. "It is about observation, creativity, and working together. We will use what we have and what we can imagine. Other species will expect only traditional tactics. We will surprise them." Lieutenant Sarah Patel nodded. "We know the field is dangerous, but we also know we have something they do not. Adaptability. Let's keep thinking, learning, and reacting." The race began in a brilliant flash of light as ships surged forward from the neutral station. The human fleet was small and modest. Alien fleets tore ahead, engines blazing, leaving streaks of energy in their wake. Observers laughed at the humans' slow start. "They will never catch up," said a Voran engineer with a confident smirk. But the humans did not panic. Elias watched the movements of the asteroids, the gravitational shifts, and the solar winds. Instead of fighting the environment, the humans used it. By carefully timing their maneuvers, they turned minor gravitational currents into propulsion, saving energy and maintaining control hours into the race. Disaster struck for one of the alien favorites, the Kailari fleet. A miscalculation in trajectory sent their lead ship spinning dangerously close to a black dwarf. Spectators gasped as alarms blared across the Kailari bridge. Panic spread among their fleet. The humans, meanwhile, were steady. Sarah noticed an unusual pattern in the asteroid belt ahead. She quickly directed the horizon through a small, narrow channel no alien would dare enter. The channel cut days off their travel time. By the midpoint of the race, humans were no longer trailing. They were in the top 5. Alien fleets tried to adjust. They sent scouts and attempted shortcuts, but the humans' unpredictability made them difficult to counter. Every time an alien strategy seemed effective, the humans adapted. Using the situation to their advantage without breaking any rules by the third system, tension had risen to a near breaking point. Observers whispered, "These humans are not just clever, they are dangerous." During a critical phase, a sudden spatial storm erupted. Ships were buffeted by unpredictable energy currents, and several alien vessels were caught in the turbulence. Some relied on shields alone, which failed against the storm's raw force. Others attempted pre-programmed maneuvers, only to collide with asteroids or be thrown off course. Humans responded differently. Elias and Sarah instructed the crew to combine simple principles of physics with intuition. Rather than resist the storm, they moved with it, adjusting in real time and using the currents to their advantage. Their small ships, once considered fragile, now moved gracefully through the chaos. By the end of the storm, humans were in first place. Alien delegates could hardly believe it. They are still in the lead," muttered a Thryn captain, voice tight with disbelief. "How is it possible?" The humans did not celebrate. They focused on the final stretch, where diplomacy and negotiation were required to secure passage through the neutral station's checkpoint. Aliens assumed humans would struggle here, expecting them to lack knowledge of galactic protocol. Humans approached the station calmly. Sarah communicated respectfully with the station authorities, using clear, simple language and gestures. Instead of trying to outwit or overpower the system, humans found a fair solution that allowed them to pass efficiently. Maintaining good relations without delay, when the horizon crossed the finish line, the crowd erupted not in cheers for humans, but in stunned silence. Alien fleets that had long dominated the field were humbled. That night, the humans celebrated quietly. Elias stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. "We've shown them that speed and power are not everything," he said. "Thinking, teamwork, and courage matter too." Sarah smiled. "And they will watch us more closely now. Some will try to imitate us. Others will fear us. But we must remain true to ourselves. That is our greatest strength." Across the galaxy, reactions were varied. Some species respected humanity's ingenuity and ethics. Others were envious, fearful, or angry. Plans began forming in secret councils: how to counter humanity, how to predict their next move, how to ensure the humans did not rise further. One group, the Vorons, decided to test humans directly. They issued a challenge that required both technical skill and rapid improvisation, retrieving a rare energy crystal from the surface of a volatile planet. The Vorons believed humans would fail, expecting their modest ships to be incapable of withstanding the planet's storms. Elias studied the data. The planet's atmosphere was turbulent, with constant electrical storms and shifting terrain. Conventional calculations suggested high failure risk. Sarah suggested an unusual approach. We don't have to compete with them the way they expect. We can work with the storm, not against it. Let's move slowly, observe patterns, and adjust continuously. Other species scoffed. They will be destroyed, said a Kylar commander. But humans succeeded. Using careful timing and creative use of natural forces, they landed safely, retrieved the crystal, and returned it intact. Alien observers were amazed. They are unpredictable, whispered a Thrin diplomat. No strategy we have works against them. Humans' victories were not without effect. Tensions between alien species rose as old rivalries reignited and alliances shifted. Some saw humanity as a new threat, others as an opportunity. But no one could deny their presence was changing the galactic field. The humans themselves remained focused on the future. Each success was a lesson, each challenge an opportunity to learn. They did not seek domination or fear, they sought understanding and growth. During a quiet moment on the horizon, Elias spoke to his crew. The galaxy is starting to notice us. They expect us to fail, yet we keep surprising them. But our greatest challenge is not them, is ourselves. We must remain careful, creative, and united. Only then can we continue to succeed. Sarah nodded. We must also remember why we are here. Not to conquer, not to boast, but to explore, learn, and prove that humans can rise through intelligence, courage, and collaboration. That is the essence of our strength. As the humans prepared for the next trials, the galaxy watched. Alien fleets adjusted their strategies. Scientists recalculated predictions, and diplomats whispered warnings. Humanity had become a symbol of unpredictability, a force that no one could fully anticipate. In the shadows, some species began plotting. They feared humans might rise too quickly, upset centuries of dominance, and change the rules of the field forever. Others quietly admired the newcomers, inspired by their courage and ingenuity. Yet the humans themselves did not worry about fear or admiration. Their focus was simple: observe, adapt, think creatively, and act with purpose. Every challenge was a step forward, every obstacle an opportunity. The galactic field had been a place of predictable power for centuries. The strongest species had relied on tradition, technology, and dominance. Humanity had shown that intelligence, courage, and adaptability could surpass even the most advanced civilizations, and with each success, the galaxy's cheers for the old champions grew quieter. The whispers of humans' ingenuity spread across star systems, and a new tension filled the field for the first time in centuries. The established powers faced a species they could not easily predict, control, or dismiss. The humans had arrived, and they were no longer simple newcomers. They were a challenge, a mystery, and a force to be reckoned with. The galaxy was changing, and humanity had only just begun to show its true potential. The galactic field had never been so tense. Every species, every fleet, every council whispered about humanity. They were no longer the amusing newcomers. Humans were clever, unpredictable, and remarkably effective. Alien powers that had ruled the field for centuries felt unease they could not ignore. The final challenge of the field was announced, a combination of strategy, exploration, and diplomacy. Teams would need to navigate dangerous star systems, negotiate with multiple species, and secure rare resources from unstable planets. This was not a test of raw power alone, demanded intelligence, courage, teamwork, and moral judgment. Humanity prepared methodically. Captain Elias Marlowe gathered his crew on the bridge of the horizon. Her face is calm, but determined. "This is the greatest challenge yet," Elias said. "We are not competing to defeat others by force. We are competing to show what humans can do. Think creatively, act courageously, and remain united. That is our advantage. We will face danger, yes, but we will also show that intelligence and cooperation can overcome any obstacle." Lieutenant Sarah Patel added, "We will inspire, not intimidate. That is what sets us apart. Other species may rely on aggression or cunning, but we will rely on skill, ethics, and teamwork." The race began in a burst of light, fleets surging forward like ribbons of fire. Aliens tried to outmaneuver one another, using long-prepared strategies and powerful ships. Humans, modest in appearance, moved with calm precision. They observed patterns, anticipated shifts, and adapted instantly. The first stage required navigating the maze of shadows, a dense asteroid field with unstable gravities. Alien fleets relied on computational calculations, predicting movements with exact formulas. But even the most precise predictions failed when the field shifted unpredictably. Many alien ships collided, others veered off course, and some were trapped for hours. Humans, however, moved differently. Elias had studied the asteroids and recognized patterns the others overlooked. He instructed the crew to move with subtle adjustments to sense the shifts and respond intuitively. The small human ships glided through the field, nimble and precise, reaching the exit before almost anyone else. Observers were shocked. "They are reading the field differently," whispered a Thrin captain. "No calculations, just intuition. How is it possible?" The second stage was diplomatic. Teams had to negotiate with the native Zyran species of a resource-rich planet. Aliens tried to dominate, offering threats, trade incentives, or complex schemes. Many failed, angering the Zyrans and delaying progress. Humans approached the planet with respect and curiosity. Syra led the negotiations, speaking simply and clearly, listening carefully, and showing genuine understanding. Instead of trying to manipulate, humans collaborated. They offered assistance with infrastructure, shared knowledge, showed honesty in their intentions. The Zyrans, impressed by this approach, provided humans with direct access to the resources. Other fleets looked on in disbelief. Where force and cunning failed, humans' integrity and intelligence succeeded. By the third stage, tensions in the field had reached a peak. Alien factions began to realize that humans were not only excelling, they were redefining what success in the field could be. Some fleets tried to block them, some attempted traps, and others attempted alliances. Yet humans remained focused. They adapted, outsmarted, and persevered. During a critical moment, humans faced the stormed planet of GalacticPrime, whose unstable atmosphere made landing nearly impossible. The strongest alien fleets relied on powerful shields and engines, many of which failed under extreme conditions. Ships were thrown off course, some destroyed by gravity spikes, others trapped in electrical storms. Elias and Sarah remained calm. "The storm can be our ally," Sarah said. "We do not need to fight it. We need to move with it." Using the storm's energy and careful timing, humans navigated the planet's hazards. Small but agile, their ships avoided dangers that larger, stronger ships could not. They retrieved the required resources and returned safely. While many alien competitors were still struggling to escape, by now, humans were leading the final challenge by a wide margin. Alien spectators, once confident, now watched in awe and fear. The galaxy's cheers for traditional champions had faded. Humanity's creativity, ethics, and courage had captured attention everywhere. The final test required strategic coordination with other fleets while maintaining independence. Many species tried to coerce humans into alliances, thinking it would slow their progress. Humans responded with clarity. They would work with anyone, but only fairly. Without deception or compromise of values, through clever collaboration, the humans created a network of support that did not rely on coercion or trickery. Other fleets were forced to acknowledge humanity's growing influence. Alliances formed not out of fear or domination, but out of respect and trust, as the last stage unfolded. Humans faced the reigning champions of the field, the combined fleets of Vorins, Thrins, and Kylari. The challenge was a multi-layered problem, combining navigation, negotiation, and resource management. Alien champions relied on complex algorithms, communication protocols, and aggressive maneuvers. Humans did not compete with aggression. They combined their knowledge, intuition, and ethical decision-making. They observed, calculated, and acted in ways no one had anticipated. The final solution was elegant in its simplicity, solving the problem efficiently while avoiding harm and building cooperation. When the results were announced, humans had achieved the highest score, completing every stage with precision and integrity. The field fell silent. Champions who had ruled for centuries were humbled. Alien spectators, once confident in their supremacy, stared in disbelief. A Thrin ambassador finally spoke, voice heavy with respect. This is remarkable. They have not only succeeded, but have done so in a way that honors the principles of the field itself. Elias Marlowe stepped forward, addressing the council and the gathered audience. We did not come here to dominate or intimidate. We came to show that intelligence, courage, and cooperation can achieve what no force alone can. We are humans, and our way is to think, to learn, to work together, and to act with integrity. That is our strength. The council and the spectators were silent for a moment. Then, slowly, murmurs of approval began. Some species cheered, some bowed in respect, and some simply stared, unable to process the unexpected reality. Humanity's triumph was not merely about winning the challenge. It was about showing a new way to approach problems, a new model for interaction in the field, and a demonstration that even a young species could rise through ingenuity, courage, and ethical action. In the weeks after the challenge, humans continued to explore, learn, and help others in the field. They repaired failing systems, offered assistance to struggling fleets, and shared knowledge generously. Other species began to see that humanity's rise did not threaten only them, it inspired them. Even the most proud and powerful civilizations began to rethink their assumptions. Long-held beliefs about intelligence, strength, and strategy were challenged. The field, once predictable, was now alive with possibility. One evening, as the horizon drifted through a nebula filled with violet gases, Elias spoke to his crew. We have achieved much, but our journey is only beginning. The galaxy will watch us, test us, and try to understand us. But as long as we remain true to who we are, we will continue to succeed. Sarah added, and in doing so, we will show that humans do not need to destroy or dominate to make an impact. We can rise through thought, courage, and unity. That is the true meaning of strength. The stars shimmered around them, distant suns lighting the path forward. The galactic field had been changed. Its champions had been humbled. Its spectators had learned a new lesson. Do not underestimate humanity. The galaxy's cheers for old champions had faded. A new respect had emerged. Humanity had entered the field not as conquerors, but as innovators, thinkers, and unifiers. Their presence would echo across star systems for generations, inspiring others to approach challenges not only with skill, but with creativity, courage, and collaboration. For the first time in centuries, the galactic field had a force that no one could predict. A force that relied not only on power, but on thought, ethics, and human spirit. And humanity's journey was only beginning. The galaxy had underestimated them. That had been its greatest mistake.